will hear a conversation between a man and a woman. The woman is talking to the man regarding a job in a hotel. You have some time to look at questions 1 to 10. You will see that there is an example which has been done for you. The conversation relating to this will be played first.
Good morning, Velat Hotel. How can I help you?
Hello. I read about your advertisement in the midday news.
Yes, we have given more than one advertisement. Is that advertisement related to housekeeping staff?
The advertisement in the newspaper is related to housekeeping staff. So, housekeeping staff is written as an answer for the example. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 10.
Good morning, Velat Hotel. How can I help you?
Hello. I read about your advertisement in the midday news.
Yes, we have given more than one advertisement. Is that advertisement related to housekeeping staff?
Right. I'm interested in the cleaning department.
Great! Actually, I'm not dealing in this department. The person who is taking care of this department is not available today. Still, I can help you by giving you the basic details if you're interested.
Oh, that will be great. What kind of staff are you looking for?
The staff that we are looking for includes laundry, shoe polishing facilities, keeping the building clean, sweeping, mopping, dusting, vacuum cleaning, and bathroom cleaning. Housekeeping staff also clean the windows and public areas and remove trash and deposit it into the building dumpsters.
Absolutely right. Can you tell me the working hours?
We have 4 shifts: early morning shift from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m., morning shift from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., evening shift from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., and night shift from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.
So, do you give the option to the people of choosing the shift timings?
Actually, we do not encourage that. The reason is that everybody would choose the shift according to their preference, but we do allow replacing 1 week's shift with another shift timing.
I think it would be better if I note all this down. Also, can you tell me about the day off system?
We offer 2 days off and you can change the days on every alternative week of the month.
Can you please tell me regarding the payment system?
Absolutely, just a moment. Yes, I have them. You get $8 per hour, which includes your break.
Will I get meals or...
Yes, we offer meals to all our staff and there is no charge for it, which is a big relief.
Awesome.
Also, you'll be happy to know that you also get tips from our bona fide guests.
What about the uniform? Is there any uniform system? I mean, do you provide the clothes as a uniform?
Of course, it slipped out of my mind. We do provide clothes for the uniform.
Wow, that is good. As it is difficult for one to manage one's uniform, what is the color of the uniform?
Green shirt and cream trousers, no prints, just plain.
Oh, I forgot to ask about the date. From when can I join?
Can you hold for a minute? You can join from the first week of next month. You know the weather is improving.
Perfect. I'm free from next month.
Great. But I would like to inform you that you have to call again and speak with Miss Samantha Bradshaw, as she's the manager who is dealing with housekeeping department. She'll guide you as to when you come for the interaction with the manager.
Not a problem. What time should I call again?
You can call her after 2 days, as on that day she'll have time to interact with you.
So shall I call back on the same number?
No, I'll give you her number. The number is +044 888 333 5385.
Okay, I will call her.
Do tell her about all information which I've given you, and also you'll be asked some verification questions.
Not a problem. Thank you very much.
You are most welcome.
That is the end of section 1. You now have some time to check your answers. Now turn to section 2. Section 2. You are going to hear a radio talk about a charity project, Sowing Power. The talk is given by Dan Cross, who herself has initiated this project. First, look at question 11 to 15. Now listen to the recording and answer questions 11 to 15.
My name is Dan Cross, and I'd like to talk about the work of Sewing Pa, a small charity based mainly in Beijing. First, how the charity began. I got the idea of exporting sewing machines to underdeveloped and some developing countries while I was in Singapore. I went for an internship after graduating from university. There, I joined a voluntary organization and carried out a survey. The project ended after 3 years, and I came back to Beijing and started planning for my dream project. The place where I used to live was an extremely rural area where people had nothing to do. My next-door neighbor had a sewing machine as he was a tailor by profession. He was the only person in the village known to be successful. For many years, I couldn't understand why. Then I realized having a machine means earning bread and butter without much trouble. Other local tailors couldn't do this job, so no matter how skilled they were, they could never do as well as compared to my neighbor. At Sewing Pa, we collect second-hand machines and send them to some of the poorest regions in the world. When we distribute machines overseas, we don't give them away for free. The demand for machine is enormous, which makes them very expensive locally, so we sell them for 5% of the normal price. But in order to continue operating, we need to have a constant supply of sewing machines, which we send out every 6 months. One example of a town that received machines from Sewing Pa is Maivas. It was the first place I sent a full container of machines. Most people in the village now own a machine. The local economy has developed so much, you wouldn't recognize it as the same place. But Sewing Pa still needs your help. You must have read about some of our recent problems in the local media. In January 2013, we were out of money. We had sewing machines ready to send, but no money to pay the bills. We managed to supply things in time, but the other problems remained for several months.
Now look at questions 16 to 20. As the talk continues, answer questions 16 to 20.
Fortunately, in May 2014, our project won the Enterprise Award, which really helped us. We invested 10% of the £10,000 prize money to secure the future of the project. Winning the award helped us to raise our profile, and the money helped us to raise our income by 50%. We're currently looking to invest in bicycles so that people can even improve their business. Because of our project, People in a number of countries now have a better standard of living. Now, there are many ways in which you can support the work of Sewing Pa. You can donate your old sewing machine if you're planning to buy a new one. It doesn't matter what condition it is in, if we can repair it, we can use its spare parts to repair others. Of course, to do that, we always need tools which are expensive to buy, so we welcome any tools that you could give in kind. Also, you can help us by raising funds through organizing events. People do all kinds of things to help us. We hope that by talking on radio programs like this, we will be able to raise public awareness, which will bring forward the government organizations to give us regular financial support, something which is really needed.
That is the end of section 2. You will now have some time to check your answers. Now turn to section 3. In this section, you will hear conversations between a lecturer and a student. Both of them are talking about the taste of music among students. Now look at questions 21 to 24. Now listen to the conversation and answer questions 21 to 24. Peter, let's look at the survey you did yesterday related to the taste of music. So, where did you go?
Dr. Goldston, I went to the music departments of our university and surveyed both types of students who studied vocal or instrumental music.
So, what did you find?
Well, I found people with diverse tastes. Some like folk, traditional, and even rock, jazz also. For playing instruments, also people like to play according to their liking.
I'm not surprised. What were the favorites specifically?
Well, to start with, playing instruments, George loves drums. He told me he has been playing drums since his childhood. At that time, he used to play with his schoolmates, and now he plays drums with his friends on weekends, in hotels or restaurants. They have their own band.
Good, Peter. Do you also play an instrument? What do you like to play? I saw you playing at the last annual function of your college. There, I was the chief guest for the function.
My favourite is the guitar. However, I don't play frequently. But if there is an opportunity, I never miss the chance. I started playing it in college.
Yes, please.
Mary likes to play violin. She's a violinist. Emmy likes flute, and it's her favourite. Both are freshers.
What about vocal music?
I contacted many students, but most of them like to sing either folk or some traditional songs in their own language. Most of the girls in the department are from Spain, so they sing songs in Spanish, and the boys are from India, and obviously they sing their Bollywood-style songs.
How interesting.
Some other students like to listen to opera and love to go see a performance. They say they like to be spectators rather than performing.
Thank you, Peter. It's amazing to know about the tastes of different students learning music in our university. I'll definitely call you at the time of performance. Now I want to switch discussion with a professor of Department of Music from another university. The discussion is mainly on the advantages and physiological effects of music. Now look at questions 25 to 30. As the talk continues, answer questions 25 to 30. For the purpose of this discussion, I'm going to divide this talk into two parts. One is advantages and the other is physiological effects of music. Under advantages, we'll talk about music as a leisure activity and music as a career. As a physiological effect, music stimulates and calms us. In front of me is sitting Dr. Roger from Music Department of Alexandria University. Let me ask a question. How is music perceived in your department?
Well, students study music more for career. Hardly any people study for leisure. The students opt for either their own musical brands or groups and start organizing live concerts, or some others become music teachers, mentors in schools, or even lectures in colleges and university.
Right. So you mean to say diversified options are open to people who study music. Now, what do you say about its physiological aspect?
It's great. It seems that music stimulates blood circulation, and the fast music even increases the heartbeat, blood pressure rises, and blood flows quickly into the body. This is the result of exciting music, which is beneficial. Music has another side. In case of soothing music, the body and mind feels relaxed, and there is a feeling of calmness. It helps in getting relaxed, refreshed, and rejuvenated. So people enjoy music in their own way.
It's really nice to know a lot from you about music and its utility. I think this will help not only the general people, but also the students studying music. Thank you for giving time.
Thank you, from my side also.
That is the end of section 3. You will now have some time to check your answers. Turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear an extract from the lecture given by a colonist from New Zealand about development of dairy farming in the country. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 35. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 35. Dairy farming in New Zealand commenced from a small beginning during the early days of a colonization by Europeans. The revenue from dairy farming is now the foremost part of the New Zealand economy, becoming an 11 billion New Zealand dollar industry by 2010. In 1814, the missionary Samuel Marsden introduced the first shorthorn dairy cows to the Bay of Island from New South Wales. From the 1840s, most settlements had farms with some shorthorn dairy cattle herds tended to be large near urban areas. The first dairy cooperative was established on Otash Peninsula in 1871. In 1881, the newly arrived colonist, William Bowron, gave a series of lectures propounding the notion that the institution of dairy factories for the mass production of cheese would be greatly advantageous to the economy of New Zealand. He was largely instrumental in the establishment of the Ashbutton Cheese and Butter Factory at Flemington, managed by William Harding and son of the cheddar cheese founder Joseph Harding. The venture was a great triumph, and consequently, Bowron was appointed government inspector of dairy factories in 1883. In this capacity, he chiefly facilitated the setting up of factories across the country until his death in 1890. He published 3 pamphlets on the manufacturing of cheese, butter, and bacon in New Zealand. Now look at questions 36 to 40. Now listen to the second half of the recording and answer questions 36 to 40. By 1920, there were 600 dairy processing factories, of which about 85% were owned by cooperatives. In the 1930s, there were around 500 cooperatives, but after World War II, improved transportation, processing technologies, and energy systems led to a trend of consolidation where the cooperatives merged and became larger and fewer in number. By the late 1990s, there were 4 cooperatives: the Waikato-based New Zealand Dairy Group, the Taranaki-based Kiwi Cooperative Dairies, the Hokitika-based Westland Milk Products, and Tatua Cooperative Dairy Company. New Zealand is the world's 8th largest milk producer, with about 2.2% of world production. Total production was 1.3 billion kg milk solids, and 8.38 billion New Zealand dollars of dairy products were exported in the year ending 30th September 2007. Traditional dairy production areas are the wetter areas of the country: Waikato, Taranaki, Sutherland, Northland, Harowenua, Manawatu, and Westland. Before the advent of refrigerated shipping in the 1880s, dairy production was entirely for local consumption, with butter and cheese usually being produced on the farm, with the surplus being sold to the community via the local store. Small dairy factories began to be established in the 1880s, and soon there was one in almost every village in dairying regions. Production began to be centralized in the second half of the 20th century, with facilities such as the Fonterra plants at Wararova near Havera, Edendale, Clandeboye near Timaru, and Terepa being the 4 largest in Southern Hemisphere. Wararova is also currently the leading dairy factory in the world by milk intake. Fonterra is the chief processor of milk in New Zealand. It processes 94.8% of all milk solids from dairy farms. Other huge dairy companies are Tatua Cooperative Dairy Company, Westland Milk Products, and Synlait. There are approximately 4.2 million dairy milking cows in New Zealand and 5.26 million dairy cattle in total by 30th June 2007, an increase from 3 million in 1982. In mid-2005, there were 12,786 dairy farms, with a total area of 2.1 million hectares. That is the end of section 4. Now you have some time to check your answers. That is the end of practice.